Doing today. In our math video that we are going to do some practice with today, we are going to continue with subtraction across zeros, but this time we are going to bump it up to zeros in the hundreds place. So hundreds and tens. So zeros in a 3-digit number. So let me switch to my document camera. We'll get started. Okay, here's the first number I have. You can see the problem is 400 minus 276. And I have taken the time to line up my place values here. And I have my line underneath and I have my subtraction sign. So I am ready to get going. The first place value that I start with when I do this kind of subtraction in third grade is my ones place. And I'm looking that it's telling me 0 minus 6. Do you see that as well? Well, we all know that when I have 0, I can't give you anything. I can't take anything away from it because there is nothing. So I'm going to go to my tens place value in hopes of having something to regroup from. And remember, I told you before in the last video that regroup and borrow can be used one and the same. I just choose to use the word regroup. Okay, so I can't do anything until I get over here to my 4, which is in the hundreds place. So the whole top number is 400. Do you agree with me? Because there it is, 400. Yes. All right, so this is going to be my starting place where I start regrouping. So I first have to borrow a whole 100. So instead of that 4 being a 4, it's going to be a 3. And I put a 10 right here. Now, I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about the value of that 10 later. Now, I still need to get all the way back over to my ones place. So this is now where I regroup from the 10. I take a 10 away from the 10, so it becomes a 9. And this 0 becomes a 10. All right, so now I can do my subtraction. 10 minus 6 is 4. 9 minus 7 is 2. And 3 minus 2 is 1. So 400, our original number, minus 276 equals 124. Good job, everybody. One thing that I want you to realize as we discuss this problem a little bit more, we have solved it using our regular way of regrouping or borrowing. But now I want to discuss it a little bit more in depth. Our starting number was 400, right? So here we have a number that is the value of a 3 in the hundreds place. We have 9 tens and then 10 ones. So 300, 9 tens is 90, and 10 ones is 10 more. So 390 plus 10 makes it 400. So I want you to realize that all we did was move the values around. We didn't change the value. It still equals 400. Remember when we borrowed across zeros in the tens place and we put the problem in expanded form? Let's do that to show what this regrouping really means. The value of the 4 is 400. The value of this 0 is 0, and the value of the 0 in the ones place is also 0 in expanded form. Here's my big old subtraction sign because I'm still subtracting. I am just the reason that they're the plus signs there because I'm putting my number in expanded form. The value of the 2 is 200. The value of the 7 is 70. And the value of the 6 is 6. So this is what all of this means. I'm looking at 0 minus 6. I go to my tens place, there's still a 0. Finally, I get to my hundreds place, and I have something I can regroup from. Remember how over here it became a 3? What it means is 300. And to my tens place, I move that whole 100, which is 10 tens. Still has the value of 10 tens. All right, I still don't have anything in my ones place yet, but I have something to regroup from. That 100 is going to become a 90, and I'll move 10 here. So now I can do my subtraction. 10 minus 6 is 4. 90 minus 70, well, you might not know that, but I know that 9 minus 7 is 2, so 90 minus 70 is 20. And then I can do 300 minus 200, which is 100. I put all this back together and I have 124. It works out the exact same because it is the exact same. I just want you to realize what you're doing when you're regrouping. This means 300s. This 9 means 9 tens, which has the same value as 90. And of course, the 10 ones is 10 ones. All right, let's look at another one. I'm going to switch out my papers. We'll solve it the regular way first, and then we'll talk about it a little more in depth. So I've got 600 minus 431. 0 minus 1 is where I'm getting started in my ones place. That's not enough. So I go to my tens place. I have another 0. It's still not enough. I have to go to my hundreds place, and that's finally where I have something where I'm going to do all my regrouping first before I do my subtraction. So let's check it out. From this 6, I'm going to borrow a whole 100. So that 6 becomes a 5. This becomes a 10. And I'm good so far, but I have to get something all the way to my ones place. Do I finally have something here to borrow from? Sure, I borrow from this 10. I take 1, so it becomes a 9. And I can put the 10 that I borrowed right there. Okay, so here we go. Let's do our subtraction. 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 minus 3 is 6. And 5 minus 4 is 1. So 600 minus 431 is 169. Good job, third grade. So let's talk about really quickly our starting value here. It was 600. Is that correct? All I did was some regrouping. So I have 500s, 9 tens, and 10 ones. The value of 500s is 500. The value of 9 tens is 90. And the value of 10 ones is 10. 500 plus 90 plus 10 still equals 600. So remember, in my regrouping, I don't change the value. I just move things around so I can do my subtraction. All right, let's look at this problem in expanded form so we can really understand what's happening when we regroup. Let's put the 600 in expanded form. So 600 plus 0 tens plus 0 ones minus 400 plus 3 tens, which has a value of 30, and 1 1. All right, let's check this out. I have the same problem when I put it in expanded form. Nothing to subtract in my ones place up here to subtract 1 from. I go to my tens place. There's still a 0, so I have to go all the way to my hundreds. This becomes 500. The 100 that I borrow, I put it right there. That's what I borrow, a whole 100. What it looks like over here in this problem is 10 tens. All right, so now I need to get all the way over to my ones place so I can start my computation. Do I have something I can borrow from now or I can regroup from? Sure. I'm going to take 10 from this 100, so that leaves it as 90, and this 0 becomes 10. So 10 minus 1 is 9. 90 minus 30, well, I can think of it as 9 minus 3, which is 6, and then 90 minus 30 would be 60. And finally, 500 minus 400 is 100. I take this answer that's in expanded form, and I put my values back together, and you can see I have 169, just as I have it here, solving it this way. All right, third grade. This video was subtracting across zeros through the hundreds place. What do you think's coming next? If you said thousands, you are exactly correct. Use those math brains. Think, think, think. You know what to do. I want to leave you with thinking about place value and digit value and what all those numbers mean in a problem. All right, you did a great job, and I look forward to doing another math video with you real soon.